Hey you guys, I'm Don't At Me Bro, and I'm here to get you hyped up about water fights. Water tamer. Take it again. Hey guys, Josh and I get to spoil some cards this year. It's really cool. We're super excited about it. And the first one we got was a water tamer card. Um, Not sure what Weebs meant by this, but it's still cool nevertheless. Honestly, this card, once you read through it, really solid. A 3-cost 2/2 ally tamer human class bonus, element bonus, 2-cost banish Seaside ringleader from your graveyard, draw a card into your memory until the end of turn. Animals and beast ally cards you activate this turn enter the field with an additional buff counter on them. Pretty damn cool. And a mouthful. But the card itself is actually really solid. There is a specific tech you can do with this ability revolving around Nullifying Lantern, which is similar to the one that works with Relentless Hex Chaser and Umbra Ally. Because it says element bonus, you obviously would need to control a water element champion, meaning either Spirit of Water in your lineage or something like Nico. Alternatively, if you have Nullifying Lantern out, it turns this card into a normal element card in your graveyard, meaning that any champion that is a normal element will be able to get this ability online as long as they are a tamer. So Fire Tamer and Wind Tamer could run this as well, which is kind of cool.
Get this in the bin, and it is value town. Getting this off pre-recollection is going to be amazing. Drawing cards, getting buff counters, fantastic. But I mean, drawing a card into memory, that is what Sylvie needs. It's what she really needs to get churning. Not to mention the buff counters, which are it's a nice little bonus, I think, to be honest. I mean, it would need to do something, but the fact that it gives one for each animal or beast that you activate that turn is really solid. And I think also, just as a side note, the other card that got spoiled recently by Main Deck Dan,
Love
shout
that
out to
guy.
him, Primordial Ritual is going to be really good with this card. As an additional cost, sacrifice an ally, so you can play this, attack with it, sacrifice it, and then you put 2 cards of your deck into your graveyard, and it's got floating memory. Also remember that getting cards into the bin as a way to turn on Virtus, which is just going to be really good in this milling style of Sylvie. Getting this on, having Virtus on is going to be really nice.
And as you mentioned before, like I see that reserve cost there, and instantly I'm like, oh man, it might slow down my turns a little bit. But in reality, because this is an ability on the card and it doesn't state it anywhere else, this is a fast speed activation ability, which means, as you said, pre-recollection, you just pay the cost, do it, and then for the rest of that turn, you get the entire effect. You draw a card into your memory, and you'll pick up the 2 cards that you put down. So it's essentially just like it's a free draw on that turn, which is fantastic. Like it is a really good card. I can see why it's an SR. Please also note in the bottom it is an MRC card. This is not found in the recollection decks. Obviously, not a slime at all, but worthwhile to note.
Water Sylvie players rejoice. You now have another cool card.
Absolutely. Okay, coming in with our next one, it's another Tamer card. You know what, as somebody that's planning to play the Sylvie Slime Sovereign deck, this is really cool to see. It's a 2-cost, 0/1 ally, Tamer, automaton, animal, rabbit. You have no idea how many takes that took to get right. Its name is Mechanical Hare. It's a funny little dog. Class bonus. On enter, we put a buff counter on this guy, so he's going to become a 1/2. And then as long as Mechanical Hare has 2 or more buff counters on it, it has, on attack, banish up to 2 target cards in a single graveyard. So it's kind of like Scavenging Raccoon, except it gets it on attack, not an on enter. Obviously, being Tamer means it only needs to get 1 more buff counter on it if you're playing it in a Sylvie deck, and Sylvie level 1 will give you that. Alternatively, there are plenty of ways to give buff counters to your animals and beasts in Sylvie decks. So, like, this thing will come online very quickly, becoming a 2/3 that on attack will continuously deplete your opponent's graveyard. Really cool card. Also, normal element. So, very solid. I like it a lot. What about you, Josh? What do you think?
What a cute little guy. He's just a better raccoon, to be honest. Uh, Obviously needs to be in Sylvie really to get the bonus. You're never really going to be able to get 2 buff counters on him in another deck. But if you play it on Sylvie, when it goes to level 1, you're going to immediately get the effect. It's a 2/3 body with a really cool on attack trigger. It's going to be super great. This is a really important card for Sylvie because Sylvie needs bigger allies that can attack early, because there are other 2/3s or there are 2/2s, being Ordinary Bear and Grey Wolf, but they can't attack until you hit level 2. This gets to attack on that turn and can let you get rid of some of their allies, which are going to get rid of some of, your animals and beasts. It's also an animal itself, so there's just a lot of really good value here. It's better than playing Squirrel. It's better than playing Raccoon. It's just a much better value card. It's going to be able to do more for you. It's a bigger body. It's just great.
So the next card is definitely the one that I was the most excited for. Like, I like these previous cards. I think they're really, really good. I think they'll see a decent amount of play, honestly. I think they're very serviceable. Um, this next one, though, was just, I don't even care how competitive it is. It is right up my alley in terms of effects, in terms of the element, in terms of the what it is. I Oh my god, I love this thing so much. I've been viciously assaulted in the Discord by people to try and release this quicker, and honestly I want to spoil it. I would love to just post this straight in the chat, and I've come so close, just hovering the send button so that I can talk about this card with somebody else. But finally we get to do it.
I mean, it's a cool card, but I have also been assaulted by my locals.
Right?
All my entire Gildas playset, which is lent out at the moment, has had mustaches threatened to be drawn on it. So my Gildases might have little French mustaches when I get them back.
But it's okay because we can finally let it out. The next card I'm super excited for everyone to see. Everything I wanted for Christmas, honestly, right here on a plate. He's fantastic. 3 cost, it is one more than the other advanced element slimes, but the effect, to me, makes up for it. It's a 2/2, Pride 3, but again, being Neos, it means the only way we're getting access to this is with Sylvie Slime Sovereign, so you'll be level 3 anyway. The Pride doesn't matter too much. Then the class bonus, this is my favorite part. At the beginning of your recollection phase, you summon a copy of this guy rested. Now, what that means is essentially you're going to get a token copy of this guy. Keep in mind it is a token. We did check that with the devs, which means that it will abide by all the same rules that a normal token does. If it goes anywhere else but the battlefield, it's essentially going to disappear. So you can't displace or zephyr them outside of the original to keep them alive. But when they enter the battlefield, they have the same ability as this guy. So the next turn, both of them will summon a token copy, and then the next turn, all 4 of them will summon a token copy. So if you could indefinitely stall, you can indefinitely build a board. It's such a cool effect. I love this guy. I think it's a really, really solid addition to the game. It is a little bit slow, though. This is definitely a fair Grand Archive card, though, because once it comes in, it's probably going to become public enemy #1. You can out this super, super easily. You could make it a little bit more survivable by playing it as the first slime on your Sylvie Slime Sovereign turn, meaning it comes in as a 4/4 for 1. Not too bad, but again, as it mentions there, counters on that ally are not copied. So when it makes the copy will just be a 2/2. The nice thing about it getting tokens as well means that you don't need to get multiple copies of this rare card. You can just represent it using whatever you usually use to represent tokens. The last thing to mention is that in the corner it says MRC, not Re-See, meaning that this card will not be available as a playset in your recollection deck. You will need to crack packs from MRC to get this.
I think it's very cool. I think the duplication effect is something that's very unique and awesome. I think it's going to lead exponential growth is always really good. Going from 1 to 2 is kind of it's pretty okay. Going from 2 to 4 is going to be amazing, and then obviously anything beyond that is just ridiculous. I'm waiting to see photos. Please tweet at us when you do. I want to see boards of 50 convoking slimes all staring into interceptors and whatnot. I want to see massive boards with convoking slimes, however many you can get to, and I want to see them. And I think the card that we mentioned before, Seaside Ringleader, it's worth noting that the card needs to be activated to trigger Seaside Ringleader. And Convoking Slime, when it makes the duplicates, they are not activated, so therefore it will not work with Seaside Ringleader. Not saying it doesn't make it good or bad, just saying as a state of fact, just so that people know. I think this does still hint, even before we knew about the Slime Sovereign deck, we were talking about, okay, well, there must be a Tamer, or there might be a
Yeah.
Tamer deck in a Tamer Neos champion. I'm thinking that there might still be, because standalone in the set, if people get this, they're going to be like, okay, well, how do I play
Mm,
it? Because you can technically play it in Tenoris, but realistically, it's terrible rate in Tenoris,
yes.
so no one's going to be playing it there. So I would really like to see I think it would be really cool to see a new champion that has Neos and is a tamer. I think that would just be really interesting. It would add to new design space.
Gundam Allen?
Gundam Allen. That would be pretty good. Oh, imagine if Allen comes through. Oh my god, that would be so cool.
You know, you make really, really good points. I still think this is the coolest slime I've seen to date, and if anyone says it's bad, I just think you're bad. But massive thank you to Weebs for letting us be amongst these amazing channels to spoil stuff. We really, really appreciate that opportunity, and I am so, so thankful for all the extra editing work you gave me this week.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. It's been awesome, and yeah, look forward to doing more in the future. And I'm looking forward to getting my hands on these cards.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so ready to get my hands on some MRC packs. Can we, do we need worlds? Can we skip worlds? Like, just push up the date, please?
Yeah, nah. We don't need worlds. Let's just do it. Do it a work. We'll do it a week early. Just let them all go to play at the casino with the money or whatever. I don't know. No, in all seriousness, no. Thank you very much, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.